I'm very tired. When I'm gone after, if I'm discovered, my work is discovered, someone asks, I wonder what he would say about his work being discovered. Just noticed that Seattle, in addition to refusing to warn anybody about what's going on and advocating for the killers, that work like this was worthless to them. They didn't have the left doesn't have the dignity to pay a deaf man for his work and his injuries. Those are respectable. I'm going to show you some of the riddles that are working the hard work that I'm trying to do. If there's a detective of the media, they can help find out who these guys are. He wants a table, and he says if the President of the United States came in and wanted to sit at the table because he's being refused a table, being told there isn't one. He says, well, I guarantee you he won't be here. See, this is very toxic because it's a pattern in media that I will show you. This is behind the picket fence at the grassy knoll. Hitler, Reagan, and the killers says, okay, start timing. Sees the sign. Waits. Okay, give him 5 seconds to get out of sight. And the same thing happened in Dallas. In fact, there was a book called 6 Seconds in Dallas. And these were being staged simultaneously. You know that from the Knicks film. I've been to Dealey Plaza. It's a lot steeper than it looks to. Limousine comes to the Stemmons Freeway sign, and the brake lights go on. He waits. For a little bit more macabre, I mean, that's obviously very macabre. That we elected the people who murdered JFK is obviously very macabre. But if you want to look at some of this Japanese person was in a Mothra film from 1966. You remember how fetishistic the Beatles were about being number one? They didn't want to come to the United States until they were number one, and with Kennedy out of the way, that paved the way for them to be number one. If looks could kill, it would have been him instead of them. Number one, Kung Fu. We'll know you're alive. This media crowd tracing to Fayum and D'Annunzio, the Italian futurist, play up this theme again and again. He did see you. He thinks I'm dead. From Mannix. I'd like you to find out who killed me. Meow. Meow. Why don't you ask Jimmy Queerbait? See, the riddles. This was taken. See, notice the caption, Oswald brought to the showroom. These guys came in the Dallas police headquarters. One of them is wearing a Riddler's outfit. You see, they made a movie guild of fascists made a riddle that they showed in layouts and outlays. This is the woman who starred in the Martha film with the look-alike of Lennon. Notice how she says you only live twice. Clint Eastwood called Where Doubles There, Where Eagles There, Where Doubles There. Notice the similarity in layout. The peep. See, Hitler's franchise had a mirror, magic mirror that would show it. They call it a timeless film moment where cinema celebrates itself. The mirror turns into seeing the past. And art does mimic reality in this case. Notice the cement writing in Seattle's Green Party district, Noah. Free Nelson Mandela, because we need a black man to guide us by the elders. And they surround my name with positive and negative signs. And then a woman named Jill, like the Green Party Jill, gave me a purple disc thingo that was a nerve agent designed by Wattenmaker. And although you hate us, we love to torture you. 1984 is the Social Security card they gave me. I went to the police about the people who gave me that Social Security card number because they were trying to get me to turn into a thief. I refused to go with them on their adventures and went to the police. Then they bailed me because they were son children of the police. That's right. That was my birthday with Noah's diva. See, because they're in a sin war with Gail, Carolyn Burston, and they're designing an ark. Sexual self-destruct, the conscience of the West, and Jonas Salk's The Survival of the Wisest. They put Don Ono Who, like who done it, on the back of my father's obituary with remarks about injecting parochial values in the German Green Party. And they set up what class? A pussy ball matrix with the Lady Panthers who seduced me in the name of the Green Party official, where you find that Noah cement writing. And what did they do? Oh, it looks like he had fun. Doesn't that look like? You can trust King Crimson. He had fun. Wasn't he lucky? How they nearly killed me and forced me to swallow a nerve agent. And then they'd get even for D.W. Griffith, working with D.W. D.W. Griffith said, I'll give you a job, you can get even. The black man drooling, right? And they make fun of the black man drooling because he's now a white man drooling. They say, don't ask, don't tell about the nerve agent. Shh. We know. Free Willie Wattenmaker. Free Willie Wattenmaker. Don't let him get in trouble. And they send me a tube for my bagel knife and ripper motor Shannon Harps. And you can see that they had this sin war idea going in crazy old Hollywood a long time. Look at storm warning, right? Let me show you the graphic carefully edited. See the Casablanca dude at the sniffing at the cootie shot? Sniffing at the Catoosie is what he's doing. And then they get, this is a Carousel Club. He was outside while the Death Cab for Cutie comes out carrying Oswald's body. There's a symbol of the nuclear bomb and a Japanese patron of Jack Ruby, who's now an ambassador. So you can see that they had in mind, this Gail Burson, they had in mind the whole script being forged into cinema. There's John Lennon's song. It would be just like starting over, which is evocative of the Nuncio's belief in reincarnation. And there's that nuclear, remember the Death Cab for Cutie nuclear sign? There's the rerouted motorcade. There's the rerouted motorcade, and she's holding her hands over her ears against what class? A thunderclap. Yes, indeed. In exactly the same way this one's holding her hands over her ears against the thunderclap. So John Lennon's going to get even for the Crooked Reducer, and then it'll be just like starting over. Isn't that wonderful? They had really neat illusions on the cover of Sergeant Pepper. They had Aleister Crowley, who was in like Oswald Mosley. Look at them happy people. Ooh, they duck. That's the beat scene of Liverpool, yes. And who do they have following me at the pit nose? Back in the days of Don't Know Who. That's right. The Crooked Reducer personally was casing the walrus. And they used to remember when I had to write Reliving the Nightmare and swear that blood oath and death vow to John Schulman's Zionists. Dustin McCarty's name, he was in on it with Schulman. Well, Neva Mancine, remember Dee and Neva? There's a symbol of Neva, the gigantic pornographic corporation. Gigantic porno uses a C and a Star of David. You wonder why I warn people, teach, queer bait, making things up about distinguished people. You wonder why I warn people to watch out for Nosferatu. He was on a bench for revenge for Auschwitz. And they have Nabucco and her stupid code about what boys should do and girls should do. Nabucco was the star of the children of Hiroshima. They're going to blow up the world if we don't stick to one girl. They're going to blow up the world. It's called abridging the prerogative. And they make you feel guilty by contract. They go, Zappa, 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 we got him for some abortions. He's going to feel guilty, yes. There she is with the pole between her legs. There's some lookalikes of Gail Burstyn. One's in Seattle Center, one's on a 1979. Want to see a real image of John Lennon? This is the real John Lennon. It's from How He Won the War. And they had the Crooked Reducer's name. It's something like Yablonsky. Pittsburgh doesn't know. They don't remember where Yablonsky was. Don't ask Pittsburgh. No, they don't know. They don't remember Yablonsky. They don't know nothing about no nerve agent. Shh. No nerve agent, no. What's this about revenge for Auschwitz? And they fooled everybody. They even fooled me. I actually believed the tall tale that John Lennon died. But then that was very mysterious. Why did they let Gail Burstyn go? Why didn't they warn that these people were in revenge for Auschwitz? And the reason is right at the beginning of the Martin Luther King Crimson letter. I say is, not was. Because they faked his death. There's the girl in the Shinto shrine outfit. You know, I was on to Two Virgins Pussy Ball before I found the Telltale clip. But the Telltale clip is one Telltale MFing clip verifying Pussy Ball. And that, once again, the mirror of reality. There they go. Oh, but Seattle says it's worth money. You keep quiet because we have to take care of the outpost, so we're going to pocket the money and head to Acapulco. No, don't say that this was a setup down there at Berliner Beer Hall, which is BB at the Tacoma Dome, Hiroshima Dome. You don't say things like that, no, because media can be trusted. You see here, there's a good example. How about the duty dat? From the Telltale clip, you need a cipher. A cipher. Clint Eastwood and Sherman Alexie will provide you with a cipher. You need to be the man from Uncle. You need to think about the meaning of Pitman. The meaning of Pitman is because he comes from the real pit. Yes, the real pit. They're going to have themselves a barbecue with Bobby Seale at the real pit. Hi, remember me? That's what Gail Burston said. There's Reagan with his favorite. Hi, remember me? Gail Burston said. Not by the hair, my chinny chin chin. These are very mysterious ciphers that I've been trying to get my hands on to understand what they're doing. Beatles of Hitler's, the Beatles. You could almost call them the Beehive tune. And there's that Japanese man with Henry Wade. Here's a couple of dacoits at the hospital. There's Japanese man with the death cab for cutie. And the girl in the Shinto shrine outfit. This Kennedy gets done in. You didn't see that. No, nobody told you nothing. You don't reward. No, we can't have his queer. Well, he's schizophrenic. He's delusional.